What's happening, LightSaber Radio family, our far, far away family?
Wednesdays
we got
are back.
some shit to talk about today. Ahsoka premiered, and this is our summary, our review, our recap, our breakdown of what we seen and whether or not we liked what we seen.
Oh boy.
Because there were some interesting things about it, and then there were some things like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? And some things that made it very, like, some things that made it really good, and some things that made it disappointing, because it was like, dude, fucking Dave, you wrote the whole fucking Rebel series. You should know what the fuck is going on. How did you fuck this up? Which I guess, when you got a million things you're doing, you're not going to make everything perfect. But we got some things to talk about. But before we get to that, let's drop that intro.
Let's do it.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Last we will reveal ourselves.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You are now tuned into LightSaber Radio. If you only knew the power of dark.
Here it comes. Let's go.
You are now tuned into LightSaber Radio. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello there.
Okay, first and
Wednesdays are
foremost, let
back.
me welcome everybody to the show. We got a full house. Let's go ahead and go down the thing. We got Star Wars team leader. We got Nielsen. We got Darth Akari. Kreese was in the chat. Clint's in the chat. And we got some stuff to go down.
Oh man, we
And we
a
got
lot
some
of stuff
things to talk about.
Yeah. Oh
But first,
my
let's
God.
just go through the chat right quick. Ready to listen to this discussion. Hi, everyone. Chris
Everybody
says, hi,
is.
guys. Darth Akari says, I'm here now. Might have to go to bed soon, though I'll finish whatever I don't hear tomorrow and leave a comment. Chris says, been a hot minute on a Wednesday stream. Yes, it has. That's just because there wasn't no series coming out. We thought about going back and doing Rebels. We probably should have with the Ahsoka coming out, but we just been so damn busy.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks. Garrison's going to school. I'm putting out 2 episodes a week now on the Star Wars Audio Archives podcast. So it's been a little hectic. Yeah, but we're glad to be back. Darth Akari says he's glad that we're back. Star Wars team leader says, I enjoyed the
This is
show, but Hera
facts.
just didn't do it for me. The actress they used just didn't give me that crush feel like the real Hera, and her colors were not real world. She seemed like a cosplayer instead. I got that same type of vibe.
100%.
I mean, it
So
wasn't
bad.
something that just killed the fucking episode for
Oh,
me,
dude,
but
it
it
killed
was
it for
kind of
me.
like, dude, what the fuck? It looked
I
like
thought-
they painted
yeah,
her.
No, cosplayers at
It just did.
Comic-Con, cosplayers at Comic-Con have done a better job.
Yeah, Darth Akari said the same thing. It looked like a cosplayer. Dion, what's happening? And Clint says, hair grew on me in the second. And that's
we
how I
all
feel.
saw her booty. We did see her booty. She's flipping. The actress is fine.
Hey, turn up your volume a little bit. You're kind of
really?
quiet. Or is that my
Is that
volume?
better? Is that better?
Wait a minute. It might be my volume. Can everybody else hear Garrison good, or is it kind of quiet?
I think I'm okay, but we'll see. I can turn myself up. But yeah, Hera, the actress, is fine, but the makeup looked a little bit weird. Where she
The
kinda-
second episode, it didn't look as bad. I don't know if they just rushed the first episode or they kind of learned as they was going, because she didn't look as bad in the second episode. The first episode, she was like super green. Like, what the fuck? What did they do? Spray paint her? She was like extremely green.
Neon, bro.
Like, Jesus, it was like neon fucking, like, it almost looked like some shit you would wear on a job site. Like, goddamn.
Yeah.
Like
They
that
did
high
that sound
vis
bad.
yellow green. Like, she just looked weird. I don't know. But it yeah. So turn up your volume. See,
Right.
turn up the volume on the actual. If your mic is already turned up, then
Test. Is that good?
well, yeah. But when you're not going to talk next to the mic like that, you're going to back up when
Okay.
you talk.
Is that better? Is that better?
It's a little
Or just
bit
need to
better.
Go more.
Go into the settings on
How's
the StreamYard, and then raise
I
your
wanna see
volume a little bit there.
Okay.
So we didn't really know how we were going to do this episode. I wrote down all my things that I liked about it, and then I wrote down the things I disliked about it. Garrison did the same thing. I watched it 3 times. I watched it twice in a row last night. I watched it once just to watch it. And then I watched it again, and I dissected it, looked for everything that I could find. That sounds better. Yeah,
okay,
that sounds better.
Cool.
And then I went through and I watched it again, and I took some notes, and then I watched it again this morning before I went to the doctor's.
Yes.
And
all right, I think everybody's just asking though what you thought about it. So just give an immediate, your first reaction, then we go to explaining it, then we can go to ratings, then we can talk about future episodes.
I liked it. I liked both episodes. I thought that they could be better, but I did like them.
I get you. For me, Ahsoka's own words. Ahsoka said, sometimes even the right reasons have the wrong consequences. Right idea, the show is eh. We all wanted more Star Wars, and we're getting Star Wars. And so, yeah, it was eh.
Okay. So I'll go first. I'll break down the reasons that I liked it. I thought Rosario Dawson acting was pretty good. I'm not going to say it was excellent. There was a couple times that I kind of seen some things that were just a little bit, like, what the fuck? Why? And that might just been what she was directed to do by Dave and what's the do Stephen Green or whoever the dude did.
A stoic, like almost like Gandalf type figure. But for me, it came across just very dry and very boring.
I didn't get that.
Bad acting. That's what I kind of said.
I didn't get that. I got her exact. It seemed like I was watching Rebels. She acted the same way in Rebels. Ashley Eckstein played her in Rebels, and she acted the same way. Everything's about figuring stuff out, thinking about things through knowledge over fucking action, and that's the total vibe that I got. She gave me a vibe that it just felt like Ahsoka from Rebels. I feel like, and I know it's probably cliche to say this, but like the whole first 2 episodes were just watching like I'm watching live action Rebels season 5, because that's kind of how, other than there was some shit that didn't make no damn sense. But I thought she did a great part of playing who Ahsoka was at the end of Rebels. Who Ahsoka was when it came down to fighting Vader, and the things that happened at the end. That's exactly who she played in this thing, which I thought was excellent. It was a very composed performance and played it to the T of what was where she left off the last time we seen Ahsoka. She played it to a T. I love that they blended classic Star Wars movie atmosphere with fresh storytelling. It looked very much like.
I love the beginning scroll was great.
Yeah, not just the beginning scroll. The whole 2 episodes, even the lightsaber battles, look like original Star Wars.
Really?
Yes. If you go back and you watch if you go back, even you watch in the. If you watch in, like when Obi-Wan and Anakin, one of the things that I had a problem with their fucking lightsaber battle, when they're clashing blades, there was no sparks. When Obi-Wan and Vader fought in New Hope, and in Empire Strikes Back, when Luke and Vader fight, and when Luke and Vader fight in the thing, when the 2 blades clash, there's sparks. They had that in here. They didn't have that in the prequel trilogy, and they didn't have it in the sequel trilogy. There wasn't no sparks. The blades didn't spark when they hit each other. They just, and they were just together. They showed the sparks. That nostalgia right there, bringing that classic Star Wars back, just made it look great. Plus the atmosphere, the way that it looked, was, it just looked like Star Wars. It didn't look like Mandalorian. Really doesn't look like Star Wars. It looks New Age. You know what I'm saying? Andor didn't really look like Star Wars. Everything that they put out, live action, has not looked like Star Wars. I mean, it has some Star Wars aesthetics to it, but it did not look like Star Wars. This looked like classic Star Wars to me. It looked like I was watching either original or prequels. The atmosphere was very good. And the storytelling, it wasn't all fucking CGI, quick action, all that. There was a story. Now, the problem with the story is, what the hell is the story?
It
like,
sucked.
it didn't lead us anywhere. It kind of left us, which is all right, being left on a cliffhanger, because that's kind of what you want to do to draw people in. But it was like kind of...
Well, it was 2 episodes of a story that was already covered in the scroll. Like, we know we're looking for a magic map to find Thrawn, and it was 2 episodes going nowhere.
Well,
And Chris has a great point. The whole find a map gimmick is getting
which is
so
stupid,
old.
because how the fuck they going to get a map of where the Purgles went?
It's another Star Wars movie / show all about a map to a main character that could impact the rest of the future.
Well,
both light and dark are looking for the map, but they can't figure out the puzzle to find the map. Plus,
I didn't get the
this
fact
map
of
is in like
how
an
did
ancient temple. And
how did they get a fucking map?
well, that's what I'm saying.
Who the
Bro,
fuck made a map? How does anybody know where the Purgles went?
They've been gone for a few years tops, but yet this map has been hidden for thousands of years.
It's been longer than a few years. The whole fucking original, the whole original trilogy happened. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
The whole original trilogy happened in between the time when the Purgles soared off into fucking space and took Thrawn and Ezra out into space. But how the fuck do they know where they went? Like, it's Purgles. It's not like somebody's tracking the fucking Purgle migration.
The Purgle migration.
But that was one of the things that I definitely didn't like.
The mapping is so fucking stupid.
That shit was just
Can
stupid.
We get
like,
some
why is the
creative
point of that?
writing, please? Like, god damn it, get some writing.
Now the overall story of what they were trying to do and the explanations, and I like the fact that they explained that Sabine's has very, 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 very little force ability. He was like the worst Jedi had more than the worst Padawans had more than you, and he was just Huyang was just clowning the shit out of Sabine.
I think her stories. Oh man!
But I thought it was good because it reflects on some of the things that she was able to do back in Rebels. So if you watched all Rebels, the reflection of all the characters that was in there reflected them in live action, and I liked that. You really didn't have to watch the Clone Wars or Rebels to you know what I'm saying, understand what was going on.
You didn't need
You could still understand what was going on if you were a new watcher.
Right. But
if you were somebody new, you would understand. You could follow the story. I like the fact that non-humans are centered. Every Star Wars movie, every single Star Wars thing is always humans. Even the animated series, it's always humans that are the number one fucking person. I'm glad that non-humans are the main characters of the storyline. It gives us a different aspect.
Sure the costumes are good.
You know what I'm saying? I like the fact that they did that. You know, because most of the time it's just humans. I like that they're giving other species a little bit of thing. I like the unique elements that made it stand out. The overall, I liked how it balanced itself. There was just enough action to just enough story that it didn't seem overpowering by one or another. It was just enough of each side. Started off with some action, got you hooked. You know what I'm saying? You want to see what's going to happen. Went into some story, a little bit more action, a little bit more story, a little bit more action, then we're done. I like that. It wasn't CGI overpowered. You know what I'm saying? We're just fucking nothing but CGI and fucking big action scenes and no story. Then there was enough story that complemented the CGI and the action that was happening. So I thought it was visually stunning. Like, it really was. Both episodes were visually stunning other than Hera, and then some of the droids just kind of looked fucking terrible. And then the lightsaber duels
were trash.
Well, it just depends on which ones you're talking about. The beginning,
terrible.
With what's her face, that shit was dope. The way she took off and started slicing the motherfuckers, that shit was dope. Didn't really like Rey's his little hallway, the cut back to fucking Darth Vader shit, it just looked at fucking just cheap. It really looked at cheap. It didn't look well done, well thought out. They kind of rushed it. If they'd have took a little bit more time, made them look a little bit more scary and fucking thing. Which, who agrees with me on this? Who agrees with me on this? These guys are just dark Jedi. These are not Sith. They're not. These are not Sith.
These are just
the way that they talk.
Yeah, they're Force sensitives with.
It's almost like after Order 66, they went out into the galaxy and then ended up becoming like bounty hunters or hired Jedis or something. They're not. They didn't give me that Sith vibe. You know, Sith are just fucking Sith. I mean, this motherfucker was like, oh, I don't want to take out Ahsoka Tano. There's so many few Jedis left. Like, what the fuck are you talking? You're a Sith, motherfucker. Yeah, dark Jedi vibes, not Sith at all. But like the Sabine and hers lightsaber battle was just trash. That shit was so. Right. I mean, like getting stabbed. She should be
dead. She should be fucking dead. I'm sorry.
Well, not necessarily because Ahsoka was right there. Ahsoka was right there.
And Obi-Wan was right there.
Yeah, but nobody came. Like, Obi-Wan didn't do nothing. He still had to fight. Like, Ahsoka was right there. You got the master of the dude that designed more fucking lightsabers and helped Padawans right there. They got a ship right there. You know, like, to me, I understand you can survive if you got somebody right there to help you.
Maybe.
That's going to help you. So that made sense to me. Though. Now, it was like fucking 20 minutes later and Ahsoka's like, please don't die and blah, blah, blah. And then the bitch dies. I'd have been like, okay. But, you know, it was right there. It instantly happened. The Ahsoka lightsaber duels, they weren't bad. They were pretty well done. The execution was pretty well. Especially the last one where she's fighting, what's his name, Marrok or whatever his name is. That was a pretty good. I liked that lightsaber duel. It was very well choreographed. It wasn't the best, but at the same time, it wasn't the greatest anyway. I would never put it up there with Anakin and Obi-Wan in no time. But it was decent for, you know what I'm saying, for what it was. And like I said, I like the fact that they brought back the sparks when the lightsabers are connecting. That's fucking something that it was like, dude, two fucking energy blades is hitting each other and no sparks is coming out. What the fuck is going on? I love that they brought that back. I like the opening crawl, even it was stupid the way that they did it. Do it like fucking natural Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that they brought it back, but don't just have it running fucking vertically up and down. You know what I'm saying? Make that shit go back into the screen like Star Wars. I like the fact that the opening scene was a traditional Star Wars opening scene. Goes right into the ship, flying across the fucking thing. We had a top-down view instead of a bottom-up view. I love that they did that. The music was excellent. They had very good music in it. Like I said before, it felt like I was watching live-action Rebels. It really did. It gave me that live-action Rebels feel. It gave me that Rebels nostalgia. It made me feel like I was watching Rebels. I love the fact that they brought back the Night Sisters. You know what I'm saying? Even though Morgan Elsbeth is just a remnant of the Night Sisters, because if you think about the Night Sisters are from Dathomir, they're not humans. And she's human. I mean, they kind of look like humans, but their skin is gray, and you know what I'm saying? The Night Sisters are a species, and she's human, or at least human-ish. But to be a remnant of the Night Sister or practicing the Night Sister, I like that. I loved the samurai vibes that credits filmmaker Akari Kurosawa when Sabine puts back on the Mandalorian armor. The way she reaches down, grabs the knife, cuts the fucking hair off, that's all fucking Akira Kurosawa. That shit is dope. I love the fact that they put that in there. Like, to give that shout out that George did so many times with showing the Jedis to be like the samurais. I love the fact that he did that. That shit was fucking awesome. Like I said, I didn't like the fact that Sabine got stabbed with a lightsaber and survived, but I understood it because Ahsoka was right there. So that made it different. I like the fact that Ahsoka went by Fulcrum in the thing. I love that. It's another drawback to Rebels, which everybody knows that Rebels is one of my favorite Star Wars that there is, and I love that they use the code name Fulcrum. I like the cameo of Admiral Akbar in it. That shit was awesome. You know what I'm saying? I like the fact that they brought back not a fucking great character. You know what I'm saying? Not somebody that's, you know, like fucking super well known or anything like that, but to give him a shout out and let him have a little cameo in there. I like that. I love the Star Wars Rebel mural. Love that shit. I thought it was a good key. I liked the aesthetics of it, what it meant to the show, what it means. Because I think one of the biggest things is, and we should know this by Disney by now, Disney does not direct stories upon, they use character names and characters as a drawing. It's not necessarily what the story is going to be about. Obi-Wan was not about Obi-Wan. Boba Fett was not about Boba Fett. Ahsoka is not just about Ahsoka. It's a larger picture. You know, The Force Awakens is not just about The Force awakening up. The Force was already awake. You know what I'm saying? The Last Jedi was not The Last Jedi. You know what I'm saying? Basically Disney uses clickbait. You know what I'm saying? What will draw the attentions of the fans? So you got to look past Ahsoka, because it's not just about Ahsoka. It's about what's happening in the time period with the Rebel Alliance. It just happens to have Ahsoka in it. And that's all the stuff that I liked about the thing. Now, my dislikes, I fucking hated the fact that Ezra says you were like his sister.
Oh,
that's what he tells Sabine. Like, we all know 4 fucking seasons of fucking Rebels, all he was trying to do was dick fucking Sabine down. Never once did he look at her like his fucking sister. He was trying to get at Sabine the whole fucking time.
He looked at her like his naughty stepsister.
You know what I'm saying? And I hate the fact that fucking Dave forgot that shit enough. Like, dude, fuck, 4 seasons this dude was trying to fuck. And not one time did... Like, it fucking, like, as soon as I heard Ask Garrison, I text him, what the fuck?
I'll put a massive bet here. You want to know why they did that? Probably because they want to write her to be lesbian. I'll make that bet with you right now.
It would have made more sense if she was trying to find him, because if she knew that he loved her enough to sacrifice for her. That would have made more sense than making him, oh, you're like my sister. He never fucking said that ever in fucking Rebels. He was trying to fuck the entire time.
Yeah.
He was trying to get at her from the very first time he met Sabine. He was trying to get at her all the way through fucking 4 seasons. There's no fucking way. And I hated the fact that they fucking said that shit. I'm like, dude. Second thing is, I hate the fucking map thing. I know everybody said it already in the chat. I fucking hate the map thing. Because first off, how the fuck are you going to know where the fucking Purgles went? They could go any fucking where. They're fucking giant whales that can use fucking light speed. You know, they can go through warp fucking drive, whatever the fuck you call that shit. You cannot fucking track them motherfuckers. And for them to have a map, that shit was just stupid. And once again, I felt just like everybody else. Why the fuck are they stuck on this fucking map shit? Like, dude, why is everything gotta have a fucking map in it? Mandalorian map. Fucking sequel trilogy. Fucking map. Andor. Fucking map. Fucking, you know, everything got a fucking map in it. Like, fuck, I'm tired of hearing about maps. Do we look like a bunch of fucking globe looking at motherfuckers? We're Star Wars fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, we don't care about that.
Bro, it's not, Chris said it before. It's not Dora the Explorer. Get away from the fucking map thing. People hated it in the first time you pulled it. Why are you trying to bring it up again? People hated it in the sequels. Why are you trying to bring it up in Ahsoka? Get over the fucking map thing. Plus,
dude, every fucking scene, like, I literally looked it up. I said, all of Star Wars that shows maps, every fucking thing that Disney has came out with at some point has to do with a map. Like, Jesus Christ, man, fuck these damn maps. Like, and then I don't mind if you got a map for something. Like, if they needed a map to fucking do something. But goddamn, the map is the fucking sole purpose of the show. Fucking find Thrawn and Ezra. We gotta have this map that can't be even in existence because who the fuck tracks Purgles? They got Purgle trackers and shit that's running around the universe tracking down Purgles. So where's the Purgle migration at right now? Nobody's fucking doing that shit. Yeah. And then the last thing that I didn't like, I just thought that the lightsaber duels could have been a little bit better.
They were so bad.
The Ahsoka one, like the first one where her fighting the droids, I liked how she cut out the fucking floor and the dudes dropped in. That shit was tight. I like the creativity of that.
Choreography
her jumping out and
so
fighting.
Slow.
I liked that they had Ahsoka doing, the way that she holds her lightsabers. Rosaria Dawson did a pretty good job. Sabine and that other chick, the other chick, the first part where she takes off real fast and uses force fucking speed and chops them motherfuckers up, I like that. Didn't like fucking Ray's guy. I didn't like that fucking dude shit. That shit just looked cheap. I didn't like fucking Sabine and what's her face's fight at the end. There was like 300 times that either one of them could have killed each other and they didn't do it. It's like, what the fuck? Why didn't you just swing the lightsaber right there and chop that bitch in half?
Oh my god! That shit was hit
each
other
terrible.
Twice, then look at each other. Hit lightsabers twice, then look at each other. Like, oh my god!
That shit was fucking terrible. And we got to understand that these are actors. They're not fucking professional fucking. And who knows who they got to train them. You know what I'm saying? And this was done in a lot faster of a pace than the movies were done, where they had a lot more practice time.
They get stunt doubles.
Yeah, but they could have done something. I don't know what they did, but that.
Are you kidding me?
That
She's
shit,
wearing a fucking hood and a cloak. Easiest stunt double ever.
And then the second, the Rosaria Dawson and Marrok, whatever the fuck his name is, that it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great neither. It was
bad.
It like I've seen way worse. Like fucking Darth Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi was fucking horrific. All the fucking they were. I will say this: all the lightsaber duels in this was better than the original trilogy duel.
Bullshit! Get the fuck out of here.
All the fucking original trilogy duels.
She's got two fucking lightsabers sitting like this. Hey, how about I move one lightsaber to stab him? No, I need two lightsabers to block. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's her signature move. She has to do that.
But once you block, now let's use one to kill. Like, god damn, it was no. Okay.
But you gotta understand, that's the same fucking thing that happened with with Maul and fucking Obi-Wan. When Obi-Wan blocked it, all he had to do was spin and cut this motherfucking in half because the dude can't fucking. He got fucking. Fucking like
that's why it fucking sucks.
You know what I'm saying? So you gonna tell me Maul and Obi-Wan suck because it was the same fucking shit? And the original trilogy had the worst fucking lightsaber fights ever. That shit was garbage.
Number 4
that shit was fucking terrible. All they did was this the whole time. That was it.
5 and 6 were not as bad as this one. Get the fuck out of here.
No, that shit was fucking terrible. That's why they had to have fucking Palpatine shock Luke, because the fucking lightsaber duel sucked so bad. They had to make it exciting. We got to have something to bring this to life.
Can I get to my negatives now?
Yep.
Okay. Obviously, there were some positives, but I have a lot more negatives. I did like the scroll down at the beginning. I like how it wasn't the same. It was different than regular Star Wars movies. It was nice that we still got to have the scroll down while it wasn't just straight copy from the movies. Like they still made it different for the TV show. I appreciated that. The character, what's his name? The Dark Jedi guy.
Ray's character, Baylan Skoll or Skrull or whatever the fuck his name is.
Whoever his fucking name. He was my favorite part of the show. It's cool seeing, while he's not necessarily a Sith, it's cool seeing another character who's not a Jedi, but kind of has his own code. Baylan Skoll. Thank you, Chris. It was cool seeing kind of a bad guy. And I loved how, the hallway scene wasn't as fleshed out as I liked. The combat wasn't as great. It did show how much someone skilled in the Force will just completely annihilate regular people with guns. You know what I mean? How everybody was still running in fear. He was forcing him. He was blocking all the bullets. it just showed them mowing through them, and that's how it should be. I like that. Now to my bad stuff. First, okay, the acting was bad. Okay, Ahsoka came across very dry. Satine was just bad to begin with. The acting and the dialogue written just seemed very childish. It seemed like we could have just put
supposed to
this.
be childish.
I know, like why don't we just keep this going? Rebels. Why is this live action?
Because they wanted because people wanted Rebels in the live action.
Yeah,
that's what the fans
cheap
asked for. So that's what they got.
I'm aware, but it's still cheap and dumb.
No, I wasn't dumb.
The writing was dumb with the whole. I swear the whole story is so stupid with the map. We've talked about this, but writing was still pretty bad. I don't know where we're going with this besides the whole stupid map thing. Like, hopefully we get in a better direction. Let's see. Oh, half the dialogue with Satine was her just complaining about Sabine.
He's saying Satine. I'm like, who the hell?
Sorry, Sabine.
We're playing the video
was her
game
complaining
too much.
about how Ahsoka hurt my feelings. Ahsoka doesn't think I'm a good Jedi. I don't know if I'm a good meh. Like, come on, dude. Like, we get it. Like, let's move on to the next scene. That just kind of annoyed me. The super when Ahsoka's fighting the little flippin' Inquisitor dude, that saber throw was fucking long. He chucked that thing over 200-300 yards and still forced it back like it was Mjolnir in Avengers. That was a little weird. I
agree with that. That shit
that
was. It was like, dude, like a whole fucking like 5 minutes went by before the motherfucker drawing it back. Like, holy shit!
Like, bro, this isn't fucking Mjolnir. Like, come on, you can't force it back from that far away. The costumes, I'm glad that we're having aliens, but goddamn, cosplayers at Comic-Con, dude, fucking Halloween costumes look better than some of this shit. Like,
yeah, fucking
those
Heroes
costumes.
And that first one here would look really, really bad. Like, I was like, what the fuck?
Disney has so much money, they can afford to make costumes better, and they can afford to hire better fucking writers.
It wasn't better writer. Dave Filoni wrote all these.
Yeah, which Dave Filoni is not the god everybody thought he was, apparently.
No, he wrote it exactly how it was supposed to be written.
What are you talking with the whole map thing? That's fucking trash.
He wrote it for the basis. Cause you have to fucking. How are you going? Okay, you have to look at. I don't agree with the map thing. I hate the fucking map thing, but they have to come up with a way to find these motherfuckers.
Okay. We know they're in a different galaxy. We just had fucking Oppenheimer, which was about a race to develop this new technology. How about we have scientists in Star Wars? Show a little bit of the science behind it. Then trying to develop a way to travel to other galaxies.
So let's break it down right quick. Okay, we know that fucking Morgan is fucking remnant of the Night Sisters. The map comes from the planet from a place where the Night Sisters used to perform magic at. Mm-hmm. Okay, so my guess, and this is just a guess, I won't know unless they explain it a little bit better, but my guess is somehow she used the Night Sisters' magic to create a map to find them. Now, I don't understand why she doesn't have the fucking map. Like, if you created it, shouldn't you have it? But Les Dave explains it a little bit better within the next stories. That's the only explanation for this map. Because that's the only way you're going to be able to find out, unless somebody's tracking fucking Purgles, and I doubt anybody's doing that. Because you got to remember, at the end of fucking Rebels, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? The Purgles take off, fucking Ezra fucking Jedi mind tricks with the fucking talks to the fucking Purgles. They take off. I don't even know how fucking him and Thrawn survived because all the windows was blew out of the ship and they went into fucking space. But,
right.
You know what I'm saying? However the fuck it happened, they survived. Now somebody had to figure out where they were at. And that's the only explanation I could come with. Watching it 3 times, that's the only explanation I could come up. Either somebody's tracking Purgle migration, or that fucking Morgan Elsbeth,
I just think
because she's a Night Sister, she figured out a way to create a map of the fucking thing.
I think there's a better way to find them rather than this fucking map thing again.
Well,
And while yes, new fans can understand what's going on without watching previous things, I don't think they care. I talked to a lot of my buddies who watched Ahsoka, who hadn't watched Rebels, and they're just like, I don't care. A lot of this stuff that happened in Rebels that gives you this strong care for the characters doesn't translate.
I don't know. I didn't feel
Ahsoka's-
that way.
What's that? Well, because you've seen Rebels, you've seen Ahsoka.
Well, no, I just like I got this. The total vibe of the show is Rebels. It's Rebels season 5 and live action.
And people who haven't seen but that's what I'm saying. With people who haven't seen Rebels, it's not the same for them. Yeah, they can understand it, but it's not as engaging, not as fun. They don't really care. You know what I mean? All these characters that they're referencing, which people who have watched Rebels know these characters, love these characters. People who haven't watched Rebels are like, who the flip is this guy? Who the flip is this chick? Why should I care? It's hard to... The characters, as of these first 2 episodes, are not... They haven't demonstrated anything that makes them super likable unless you've seen Rebels. Like, I've seen Rebels. Like Tara, I know all these characters. Addison, my brother... 3 guys I talked to at school today, none of them have seen Rebels. Therefore, all these characters, they're like, not only are they unfamiliar, but there's nothing likable about them yet because they don't know who they are. They need to do a better job of bringing along new fans and getting them engaged with these characters.
Well, you also got to remember
because they might learn more as they go, but as of right now, these characters are not super likable.
Well, the idea,
just taking this show.
As a good marketing, good strategy in marketing, which I think that they're doing excellent. You introduce these characters. Somebody has never seen it before. They want to know, okay, who are these characters? Where are these characters? That makes them go back
and watch,
and they watch the other thing.
Right.
And then,
but you also need to make these characters intriguing, engaging, and likable for people to care enough to go back and watch. As of right now, I don't think they are intriguing enough for people to. For new people,
hold up. We got a lot of comments in the fucking thing. We should probably go back and look at some of these.
Yeah. So sorry. I disagree with Garrison, and I'm disappointed. I'm sorry you're disappointed. I'm disappointed in Ahsoka. Some people think the Inquisitor's Ezra. That doesn't make sense to me. I think that's an interesting theory, and I would like it. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it's. I don't think
the way
it's
he's explained on Wikipedia, he's not even a fucking Inquisitor.
Really?
Yeah, he's just a dark side user. That's what it says. It doesn't say that he's an Inquisitor. His name is like Marrok or some shit like that. I read the fucking name. There's too many damn fucking things to remember. But it's like Marrok or Muik or some shit like that. And he's just like a fucking... He's just like a fucking dark side Jedi or a dark side user. They don't even call him an Inquisitor.
Nelson says we should just get a side story of Ezra Thrawn trying to find their way back instead of being found. I mean, that would definitely be better than this
That's what
copy
the comics
of
show.
what they've already done. Like, I'd rather see Ezra and Thrawn trying to make their way back than this exact same thing of let's find a map to find a character who will change the
map
world.
thing is just,
but we both are trying to figure out this map.
Like, I understand the idea for the map to find them, but at the same time, the map thing is just overdone. They fucking killed it.
I'm sick of the map to
with
find a person to do this next thing, and we're both trying to figure out. Like,
well, you also got to remember. You also got to remember that a lot of the video games are influencing the thing. I read an article earlier that somebody was like, look at the fucking all the TV shows and look at all the video games, and basically the fucking TV shows are like. They use a lot of the video game references. And in all video games, there's a fucking map in every fucking video game. You got a fucking map.
Right.
So I was like, I get it. But still
Stars
kind of
team
fucking.
leader. Plus, you have Seth Green directing the last episode. Interesting. If it was a magic map that told you where things were you were looking for and not a pre-made map, it would have been better. All right, now we're getting to fucking Harry Potter. Or fucking like the Black Pearl with the magic compass that Jack Sparrow had. They should have brought back the Purgles and had Ahsoka sense the Force echoes of where they've been, like she was doing with everything else.
And you know
then
what?
have to travel to each point.
That's
until they
something
find
else.
him.
That's something else and that kind of reflects on how she's doesn't consider herself a Jedi, because using the Force to fucking sense shit like that's a dark side power. That's not a light side power.
Force
the light
echoes?
side, when she's fucking sensing what the fuck is going on, what the fuck happened.
That's a dark side power? Because
That's a dark side power. That is a dark side power.
Really? Since when?
Yes, it's always been a dark side power. Force premonition, dark side force premonitions. That's what this called. When you have premonitions of the things that's happening in a location, that's something that's used. That's a dark side power.
Well, that's something that comes from the video game. You use that all the time in Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, yeah,
you get like these Force echoes.
But you got to also remember that Ahsoka's not a Jedi. Ahsoka left the Order. She even
but
says
the guy
it
in Fallen Order is.
Well, I mean, if he don't know the rules, then how many Jedi trained him?
And that's another thing. Ahsoka is not a Jedi. Quit
Ahsoka's
calling
not
her
a
a Jedi and quit saying that she's training Sabine to be a Jedi, because neither one of them are a Jedi.
Nope.
Or
Ahsoka
ever will
says she's
be.
not a Jedi.
Yeah.
My thing is this: you wouldn't train fucking Grogu that had super force abilities, but you're training somebody that has no force ability.
Exactly.
What the fuck is the point of that? Like, and he describes her. I guess she got some force abilities, but it's very, very minor. He said the sorriest of Padawans had more force ability. That shit was funny. I was like, damn,
That's
he
why I
just
don't
clouded the
get
shit out.
She's not willing to train Grogu, but she can train her. Like, I don't know.
Maybe she doesn't feel like she's
the
confident.
lightsabers, the lighting of the lightsabers didn't look the same as in the movies. There wasn't this glow, and part of this might be because Ahsoka has like these gray lightsabers, so they don't have the same kind of light. But there's not the same glow and reflection and shadows everywhere that you get in the movies.
But they did put the spark back.
They did put the sparks back. The lightsaber combat was just terribly choreographed. It looked boring. Again, I thought Ahsoka was kind of dry to me. I know she's trying to be this serious character, but to me, she just kind of sucked the life of every scene she was in. Just because she just seemed boring. Instead of coming across as like stoic and serious, it was boring. Which I hate to say because, like, I don't know, because I know she was trying to be like all cool, but it just felt boring to me. That's majority of what I had issues with so far.
So how would you rate it?
Again, I said it was so I'm giving it the most number. I'm giving it a 5.
I'm gonna say a 7.
A 7.
Yeah.
So the average is out at a 6.
Because, like I said, the map thing. I mean, even though I'm trying to fucking imagine what the fucking like purpose, like how. Because I think that's the most confusing part is the how. Anybody that's seen anything with fucking Rebels, how the fuck did you track Purgle? You know what I'm saying? How the fuck? I mean, I guess, and the only reason I think that Morgan has because she says Thrawn is calling to her. So maybe Thrawn knows something about some fucking Night Sister shit and fucking knows how to call to her, and she's using. And so she used that fucking thing to use the magic, to fucking use force magic to fucking create the map. But at the same time, that shit was just fucking like, what killed like good 2 points with me was the whole fucking Sabine is his fucking, I look at you as like my
Clinton,
sister, you fucking lying fucking, like that shit is not
So
real.
we got a lot of 7, 7, 8. Clinton says the map is the only bad thing. I just gave you a list, my dude.
Well, like I said earlier, I think the aesthetics of it, the equalization of story versus action, and like the music, the everything was pretty well done.
Oh, That's one thing I did want to say. The music was spectacular.
Yeah,
Like,
Kevin Kline
amazing.
or whatever. That fucking music is
the
fucking
music
great.
definitely gave me Star Wars vibes. It sounded like I was in the prequels or the originals. The music was phenomenal. The score, every time I was listening, I was brought
The
back to
sound
Star Wars.
effects
So the
were all
music
spot on.
is a huge plus. Yeah.
Whoever their
I think
audio
the
guy
music and the
is.
sounds, yeah. Music and
the
the sounds
fucking,
was
like-
the best
Like,
part of it.
I liked that you fucking, like, everything fucking, like, the blasters were done right, the fucking blocks were done right, the lightsabers connecting were done right, a rock fall, you heard the shit. The fucking, like, all the sound was fucking amazing. Like I said, the aesthetics, the sound, everything was fucking great. Like, everything looked good and sounded good. It was just,
yeah.
it
They
was,
did a good
the
job
acting was not the greatest.
No.
And I'm not even gonna say Rosario Dawson. I can't stand Rosario Dawson as an actor, but I think she did. I think she played the part of Ahsoka the way it was supposed. That's who Ahsoka is. I felt like I was watching Ahsoka from Rebels, like the way she
Sabine
just always
wasn't
fucking
great.
serious. The way that she's, it's very to the key, following Anakin's instruction from what she learned. Like, you can't trust shit. You got to fucking look at this. You can only don't rely on the Force for everything because the Force will let you down. I mean, just everything. The way that she acted was perfect. And I see why they
didn't
got
think-
Rosario Dawson to play her character. I can't stand. I haven't ever since the one where she gives the dude AIDS and all that fucking weird ass shit. That movie,
Yeah,
whatever the fucking movie was.
I didn't think Natasha did very well at acting.
And Natasha didn't do
Bordizzo,
well at acting.
was-
The chick
she
that
was
played
kinda
Hera,
bad.
Hera was not.
Yeah.
Hera was
kinda
not
bad.
believable. Ray, I didn't care for his acting really. I mean, it was kind of bland. That's what I'm gonna have to say. I would have to say that overall, what I disliked the most was it just felt like it was just there. It wasn't nothing spectacular.
It was like I said.
I wouldn't even say, I mean, I enjoyed watching it, but I didn't, there was nothing
I
that
was
really made
bored.
me go, wow, there was none of that shit. I think the most exciting thing was when Sabine slides under the ship. That was the most exciting thing that happened in the whole thing.
Honestly, I could have gone without these 2 episodes. I didn't think there was anything. It
I
wasn't.
mean,
super
I'm
entertaining
not
to
going
me.
to say I
It
could
was
go
just-
without 2 episodes
yeah.
because I know they're leading somewhere. The story itself is there. We understand the story. The storyline is they got a map. You already said it. They got to find a fucking map.
Nelson
They got to
made a
go
funny
fucking
hold
find
on.
somebody.
I do wanna
They got the
mention
dark
Nelson's
side and the
comment.
light side fucking fighting to get to this motherfuckers first. Blah, blah, blah. We know the story. We've
Yeah.
seen it. It's
Nelson
happened.
said a funny comment. He said the first 2 episodes are really mapped out. That was a good one, Nelson.
So the story is there. It wasn't like it was lacking story. It had a story. At least it had a story. It wasn't like fucking 4 episodes of fucking Mando season 3 where it was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, we know the outcome, but this doesn't. What does this have to do with the outcome? It don't have anything to do with shit.
I liked
But-
Ray Stevenson. He acted well, actually. I did like Ray Stevenson.
I didn't even like. He didn't act. He wasn't even in it enough to really fucking to fucking do shit. And the fucking hallway scene was just fucking like, dude. I understand you're trying to give homage to fucking the Darth Vader scene and the hallway scene, but it was just fucking like there was no fucking like I wasn't scared. Like when Maul lights his lightsabers.
Correct. There needs to. I mean, you saw the fear in the characters, but you didn't get any fear yourself.
Like when you see Darth Vader doing it, you're like, oh
It's
shit.
fucking. You're like, oh shit.
When you see Maul light his lightsabers the first time, you're like, oh shit.
oh shit.
You know what I'm saying? Even when you see Luke walking down the hallways
And
against
Mando.
the fucking battle droids, you're like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like it was rushed. It seemed like the scene was rushed. There wasn't enough of that. They come around the corner, they're looking like, oh shit, and this
definitely
dude's
was
standing there with a
rushed. I'll agree
lightsaber,
with
and he's
that.
like, they needed that fucking pause, and they didn't give us the
Definitely
pause. It rushed right into it, and I think it took away from it. But like overall, I enjoyed it. I think it definitely has something to build upon. But I really wish they would get rid of the fucking map thing and the fucking Thrawn or Ezra Sabine's sister fucking feel like shit. That shit was just fucking terrible. That shit ruined it. I was like, fuck. That's the most exciting one, because when he said that shit in the little fucking hologram, I was fucking screaming. I text you. Like, what the fuck is this shit? When the fuck did he, like, what the fuck? Like, he's never fucking thought that Sabine was like his, he was trying to fuck her the whole time. Like, you know what I'm saying? We all knew that he was attracted to Sabine. So, like, that, even, like, I guess if you've never seen anything, but now if you go back and you go watch Rebels, you're going to be like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, why would they say that? Like, this dude's trying to bang her the whole time. He's trying to get at her. He fucking has a super crush on her. So, like, that was like the worst. That was the most exciting time for me, but it was also the worst part. I was fucking upset with that shit. It just, I don't know, man. It just, but I also, and honestly, I had high expectations, but at the same time, I wasn't going into it because I know Disney's track record. I trust in Dave. I even started the hashtag trust the Filoni, because I know he's going to take us somewhere. Because even in Rebels, the first couple episodes of every season were kind of like, but then they always got better and it always led somewhere.
I still think they're going to have one of them be lesbian. I will bet so much money on it. Like the fact that they changed it from Ezra having a crush on her to being like, oh, I loved you as a sister. I don't know. I see Disney doing that.
What, making one of the characters a lesbian?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know how that could happen though. Ahsoka don't care about none of that shit. Sabine, I don't know. They really don't push Sabine.
Look, she cut her hair.
She was in love with Kanan. You know what I'm saying?
I know they won't do it.
I'm kind of wondering, because you know, for the longest time they were talking about fucking Kanan, and Hera was pregnant by Kanan when Kanan died. You know, that was like a big fucking fan theory that fucking the new movie was going to have like Kanan's and Hera's son getting trained by Rey and shit. There was a whole bunch of talk about that shit. I'm wondering if we will see in this series a fucking Kanan Jr.
I don't think so.
That shit would be crazy.
I feel like they would have tried to show that already in like the first.
I don't think they would have. I think they'd be like at the very end, and it would lead up to fucking the Rey movie.
Maybe I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? Because we
it
know
would just
fucking
be weird. Because like we see her this whole time. Where's your kid? Like,
well, how many times do you see people's kids when they're working?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It just. Yep. Oh shit, Dr. Kari's right. He said Ahsoka had a male and a female love interest in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, they're bringing
if I remember correctly, I think you're right.
They definitely are bringing it in.
I think you're right, because didn't she? Ahsoka had the dude. Remember, she was attracted to the dude,
Right.
the
Separatist dude.
The Separatist dude, and then who was the girl? It wasn't Barris. Who was the girl? I know there was a girl. There was a girl that she was crushing on. What if that's the fucking key to the end of it? Ahsoka hooks up with fucking Baylan's fucking Padawan. That would be fucking crazy. That bitch look crazy as shit though, especially when she's fucking fighting Sabine. She just looks like she looks like she should be part of Children of the Corn or something. Yeah. You're right. The Martell sister in season 7.
Right, and also like there's a novel that has her with someone named Caden Lart or something.
Well, in the Ahsoka book, Jason Syndulla is Marrok. No, I don't think so. Nielsen. I don't think that's in. I think it'd be more likely to be Ezra, and she's fucking using, and Morgan Elsbeth is using the fucking mind shit on her. But then, how the fuck did Ezra get back and Thrawn's not back? That's why that whole theory didn't make no sense when they were saying that shit.
Yeah, I don't.
That didn't make no sense to me. I don't know.
Way,
I think that
I hope the next episode is better.
Yeah. I hope all the episodes is better. And you know the crazy shit though? Rotten Tomato. We haven't talked about that yet.
Oh, what did Rotten Tomato say?
93%.
I saw
the highest.
Google reviews put it at like 3.6. So everybody that put reviews on Google had it
So
at 3.6.
Rotten Tomato had it at 93%, which is the highest out of every Star Wars live action film
but
yet.
you got to remember, Rotten Tomatoes is like the way they review stuff is weird. That just means 93% rated it 3 stars or more. You know what I mean?
And that was on both of them. It was on the critics and on the fucking
audience has it at 87.
Okay, so it dropped.
Yeah. Which that just means 87% of the people who saw it put it at 3 stars, which is 5 or 6, like what we're saying.
I don't know. Yeah, when I seen that shit, I was like, what the fuck? It was higher than Andor? Like, what the fuck? Are you crazy? That shit wasn't better than Andor. I mean, it's good. But you also got, like, I also view things at a difference. Andor is the adult Star Wars. This is not adult Star Wars. This is for everybody Star Wars. This is for it. Everybody can watch this, anyone from 3 years old to 80 years old. Andor, I don't know if I'll let my 3-year-old watch it because in the first fucking 2 minutes, the motherfucker shoots somebody in the face. Like, that's fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're off to a solid start. Chris, I do. Chris says, besides Garrison's 5, I think we could say that they're off to a solid start. I do.
I agree.
I think it's off to a solid start. I think that they're on the right direction. I think that they're going in a direction that, as long as they can steer away from like contradicting Rebels, and some of the things that they did, I don't expect the lightsaber duels to be that good. It's too fast of a turnaround from the point of when Dave started writing it to it coming out for them to put in a lot of practice. Got to understand Rosario Dawson was fan casted. They're going to spend the most time with her. The rest of the characters are going to suffer when it comes to lightsaber duels. They don't use stunt doubles for lightsaber duels. They never have in Star Wars. That's just something that they never have done. They always let the actors do it. They train the actors in doing it, and I just don't think they have the time.
The sword fighting in flipping Narnia was better. Like, come on.
Well, you also got to understand there was years in time.
Game of Thrones
Literally,
did it. That's
dude,
a TV
this
show.
2 years ago was when this shit was crafted. Like when Dave started writing the fucking script for this was 2 years ago.
I'm just saying.
So
this is a like millions of dollars that Disney has. There's no excuse for shitty combat. There's no excuse for shitty choreography.
Well, at least they were both shitty at the combat. If it was like one of them was shitty and the other one was really good, it would make it look bad. But they were both shitty, so it just looked.
Yeah, one shitty, one good would be.
You can't even look at fucking Obi-Wan and fucking Vader. That shit was the worst fucking sword fighting in the history of ever.
I know.
Like I've seen low budget films that are worse than that. I've seen shit. I've seen fucking shit on YouTube that was better than that. And so I didn't expect it to be great. Dude, you have to have a turnaround. And the turnaround, and that's another reason. When you have 9 months of Anakin and fucking Ewan McGregor and fucking Hayden Christensen practicing that fucking shit, they practiced that shit for 9 months. That's why it looked like how good it did. They was practicing that shit every day for 9 months. That's why that shit looked so good. You look at all the rest of the lightsaber duels that there's ever been. The reason none of the rest of them compare with that shit, because they only had like a month or 2 months tops to fucking practice their shit before they got it fucking down. You think Liam Neeson is going to be good at fucking lightsaber battle? This dude don't fucking fight with swords. He uses guns in all of his movies. That's why shit wasn't that good.
Even like Game of Thrones. That was a TV show. They did better than that.
Yeah, but they fucking was filming that shit a year in advance. Okay, Game of Thrones was being shot a year in advance.
Waited to come out.
Well, they could have waited, but fuck that. I'd rather watch it now with some fucking shitty fucking lightsaber duel. You know what I'm saying? And you got also understand these are 2 Padawans. These are not fucking expert lightsaber. Yeah. They're not Jedi masters.
That's fair. But
they're 2 Padawans. The Ahsoka ones were not bad. The Ahsoka fights were not bad. Like, and you could tell that they spent more time with Rosario Dawson on her shit than they did with the rest of them. You can tell. Fuck, you think about it. What's his face? I was watching an interview with what's his name? Oh fuck, what the hell's his name? Dude to play Blade. He said that he practiced with fucking like real fucking sword masters for like 2 years before they even started shooting Blade. So you got to look at how much time did these people put into their parts, and you know how much time are they given. You know, I mean, I'm gonna like I can look past that shit. Like the lightsaber duels, I can look past that. I look at it also as the character. The character says, you know what I'm saying? These are two Padawans. They're not masters. They're not going to be that fucking great. Even Ahsoka technically is not a fucking master. She never got to masterhood. She left when she was like fucking 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? She only had like 2-3 years of training under Anakin. But look how much better she is because Anakin was her fucking master. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take all that into consideration too. It's not like Boba Fett where we know he's a badass, and then we come in and this dude's fucking sucking dick and making cookies and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a difference. We know Ahsoka was pretty good, but we also know the limits of her training. They explained it right off the bat. We know Sabine ain't that fucking great. She had a couple lessons from Kanan with the darksaber. You know what I'm saying? And then we don't know. We really have no idea how much training she had with Ahsoka. You know what I'm saying? We don't know really. They didn't explain the length of their fucking master apprentice fucking, you know what I'm saying, thing. So I didn't expect her to be that good. I think it could have been better though. You know what I'm saying? At least make it a little bit better, but because this shit was terrible. But I can overlook that. Because the map thing was fucking me up so much, I didn't pay that much attention to it. Like, fuck this goddamn map. Why the hell they gotta have a map? I don't know. I tried to look at the aesthetics, the music, the sound. Like the first time I just watched it. Like I said, I just watched it. I enjoyed watching it. I thought it was all right. The second time I watched it, that's when I started, you know what I'm saying, looking at everything. And the third time I watched it, I was looking for the Easter eggs, you know what I'm saying? Look, what is the things, that bullshit opening crawl that they did. That I understand you're bringing back the opening crawl, but do Star Wars opening crawl. Don't do that fucking vertical up and down shit. You know, that shit bothered me. So, you know, the Easter eggs.
Did it get better or worse as you rewatched it?
By the third time, honestly, I have to say it got worse as I watched. Well,
yeah. Okay, you get, dude. Well, it's boring.
By the third time I watched it, I was kind of like,
Andor had half as much action.
I'm gonna say it got worse because once you, like the first time you see it, you're like, okay. The second time you see it, I'm looking for, like, does green screen pop up? I'm looking at it more as a filmmaker. I'm listening. I'm paying attention to, I'm not paying attention to the story. I'm not paying attention to the characters. I'm not paying attention to the dialogue unless they're fucking up. You know, I'm paying attention to the real aesthetics of the film. I'm looking at it as a filmmaker. And I'm looking for any mistakes that would have been made. The third time I'm watching it, I'm not really watching it. I'm just looking for Easter eggs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the opening scene, you know what I'm saying, is a callback to New Hope. It's the original opening of all the good Star Wars, of all the George Lucas Star Wars. It opens with a fucking ship. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for, like, does it have what stuff does it relate to Rebels with? Like, it has the picture of the Rebel, of all their characters. It has the picture of the father, the son, and the daughter. It has, why isn't Sabine wearing her Mandalorian armor during the whole show? Because she never took off her. She was very proud of her Mandalorian armor in Rebels. She would never take that shit off. Just looking for the things. Like, was she fighting with the lightsaber the same way that Kanan showed her with the darksaber? Yes, she was. The technique, her stance. Right. I was looking for all the little Easter eggs. So I'm not really paying attention to the story or things like that. I'm just looking for certain things that, like the R2 unit, the triple 3PO, droid that they have in it. You know, all the little Easter eggs, all the little things that, you know, are shout outs to other parts of Star Wars or that go back to Rebels or that are new and distinct to this episode or to these episodes. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm not really paying attention. So I can't really say that it got better or worse. It got a lot boringer looking for the shit. You know what I'm saying? In Andor, when I was looking for the shit, I was still, you know, kind of like, well, fuck, this is good. I literally have to, like, stop and rewind and go back because I start paying attention to what the fuck is going on in the story. Then I would fucking pay attention. And I didn't do that in this one. It was just like, fuck, this is, like, fucking dreadful going through this shit again, looking for these certain things, which I found a lot of them. There's a lot of, like I said, the 000 droid, the R2 unit, the BT-1 unit. There's a lot of different there was a lot of different stuff. The Baylan Skoll stroll resembled Darth Vader's. The Ahsoka, the way that she's holding her swords. There was a lot of Easter eggs in this. I mean, there was a whole lot. The orb resembles the orb resembles the map. The puzzle map resembles an orb puzzle in Fallen Order. They use the fulcrum, the mural behind the Governor Asadi, which Governor Asadi is a bring back from fucking Rebels. The flying scene echoes Rebels, which is Morgan Elsbeth is a Night Sister or a remnant of the Night Sisters. Let's see, there was some more here. I had them all written down. I was scrolling too fast. The Admiral Akbar was the shout out to Admiral Akbar when he comes out and talks.
Oh, damn. Thank you, Chris.
Holy shit, Chris.
Said, guys, I always enjoy your episodes and thought I would show that appreciation. Can't wait for more of these fun Wednesday shows. Thanks, Chris. We appreciate it.
Man, Chris, we really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Kanan is Marrok. Nelson, you just want somebody to be Marrok, huh? No, there's a lot of different things that happen and we're showing. I like the fucking, because if you look behind, and at first the first time I watched it, behind when all the senators is up there talking and he's calling out Sabine and she's not there. When I first seen it, I thought it was them. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, okay, it's all of the Rebels crew. But then later on, they show another scene, and it has the father, the father, the son, and the daughter, the Force Trinity up there. Which I don't know why they have a Force Trinity. You know what I'm saying? But
the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, but you know, it's they had a lot of cool things in there. But like I said, going by the third time I watched it, I was like, oh my God, fuck, man. Like, because I was just searching for shit. It was kind of like going back and looking for the Easter eggs in fucking Kenobi. It was just fucking like, Kenobi just made it hard to find Easter egg because the fucking camera was shaking the whole goddamn time. Jesus Christ. Fuck, I'm getting a headache.
You'll never get over that camera shake, man.
Dude, like... And I understand the camera shake. The camera shake is supposed to show action. Shit is going on. The camera's supposed to be fucking moving and shaking, but not the whole fucking time, man. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Giving me a headache. But But the first time I watched it, like if I wouldn't have went back and watched it the second and third time, it'd have probably got like an 8. But since I went back and looked at it the second and third time, that's when I was like, I started noticing other little things. But I'll have to say the two things that had me most excited is when fucking Ezra says that Sabine is like his sister, because I was just fucking screaming like, what the fuck is that bullshit? Fucking come on, Dave, you woke fucking rebels. How the fuck you gonna fuck that up? And then the second thing was the lightsaber spark. When I got to see the lightsaber spark, because we haven't seen that since the original fucking trilogy. They just don't do it. The lightsabers don't spark when they hit each other. They just fucking be beat, and they're like, what the fuck? Especially in the sequel trilogy. Sequel trilogy was fucking like, that shit didn't even look like lightsabers hitting each other. It looked like they was hitting sticks together.
So, favorite part and least favorite part.
My favorite, I just said, my favorite part was the spark when the lightsabers hit each other and they were fucking clashing down.
All right.
And my least favorite part was when fucking Ezra said that Sabine was like his sister.
That's fair. My favorite part was Baylan. Just Baylan, bro. He's awesome. I love Baylan. He's my favorite part of the show, and he's the first character we've had since Mando where I've been like, oh shit, I love this new character. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's been a while since they've introduced a new character that I've been like, oh, I love this guy. This is sick. And that's what I'm starting to feel with him. He's definitely cool. I like him. My least favorite part. God damn, the fucking map, bro. I'm sorry. Either the map or the sword fight between Sabine and what's her face.
Like, I can look past the sword fight. I couldn't look past that fucking Ezra fucking Sabine was like his sister. Like, what the fuck is that?
Well, my thing is, bro, we're finally getting lightsaber duels back. Like, how long have we waited for lightsaber duels, bro? Darksaber doesn't count because that's fucking Mando, but like, this is the first time we've had lightsaber on lightsaber since the movies.
Well,
and it was this? Like, you're giving me this.
Well, we had it in fucking Kenobi, but that shit was just fucking
I guess that's true. But Kenobi's was just as bad, yeah.
I don't know. The Kenobi Darth Vader fucking lightsaber duel was probably the best part of that whole fucking season. Other than fucking Kenobi jumping out of the ground and blowing fucking a million stones off.
I didn't think about Kenobi.
Kenobi, that was a pretty good lightsaber duel. But it wasn't as good as Obi-Wan and Anakin.
It was better than this. Kenobi's lightsaber was better than this. This was bad.
Nielsen said his favorite part was the mystery character. Derpy ass Loth Cat. The Loth Cat looked at fake as shit. That was the fucking fakest CGI shit that I ever seen. That shit was terrible. I forgot about that. It was so bad. Chris says, thanks guys, loving having the Star Wars group therapy. We love to have you guys here, man. We appreciate that you guys show up every fucking...
Kari says, first time we're going to get girl on girl. No, we had that in Andor.
A girl on girl action?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Remember they was kissing and shit. Yep, you're right. Leanne, I'm enjoying these as well. I love the audio archives, and I just stumbled onto this show. It has opened my mind to more Star Wars I didn't even know about. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. So far, that I thank y'all. Chris, Dave has Ezra friend zone himself. That's what happened. They just friend zone fucking. Ezra wasn't ever. If they were still making the fucking cartoon, he would still be trying to fuck.
No,
saying, man,
Ezra. No, what really happened? Why he said I love you like a sister? Because while him and Thrawn were out there, they got lonely.
Oh man, you gonna think that's what? You think that's what happened? Hey, that's a fucking real theory right there. What if him and Thrawn was out there by Hey man, what if they had one of them like Brokeback Mountain fucking moments? They was cold. You know, they're on fucking some planet like Hobbs.
Yeah,
that's
bro,
where they're stuck at.
They
was hugged up together. Next thing you know, a fucking
they're the only
was,
humanoid creatures around. Whoa, we gotta do something.
Like, dude, like, you know what I'm saying? And then they started, and then fucking Ezra falls in love with Thrawn. Oh my god.
Who do you think would be the top, Ezra or Thrawn?
Oh my god, that's a fucking theory of fuck. What if they fell in love with each other? Jesus Christ, man. I can see Disney doing some shit like that. We're part of the fucking alphabet people too. Fuck Jesus Christ.
Thrawn's like
that shit would be fucking hilarious though. Dude, that shit would throw that. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I would love to see that. I would love to fucking see that. That's a fucking twist for your ass.
Thrawn's like, Ezra, show me your lightsaber. He's like, I don't have my lightsaber. Sabine has it. That's not the lightsaber I was talking about.
Darth Akari Thrawn, he's a doll. In Vader voice, no. Dude, that shit would be fucking crazy.
Damn.
Like, because they did they kind of fucking hinted around that fucking Ezra's not Ezra's with Thrawn now. They're kind of hinting around to that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. But they kind of fucking hinted around to that shit. So it's like, could that fucking possibly be a fucking scenario? I mean, it could be. And you know that they're all into this fucking woke shit. So, you know, fuck, we had lesbians. We done had droid on droid. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we get fucking some homosexuality, like man on man shit. And it'd be Thrawn and Ezra. That would be a fucking ringer. That would fuck everybody up. Everybody be like, what the fuck? I just don't think Dave would write that, but you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, I'm not writing that shit. You know, I wear a cowboy hat, cowboy boots. I ain't doing no broke back mountain shit.
Jar Jar shows
Big
up.
Fear, he said, then Jar Jar shows up with Mullen, melon, oil.
Chris, Thrawn is actually blue skinned for being choked too much.
Hey, what's going on, Fig Fear? We haven't seen you around in a while. I was watching a couple of your episodes the other day, man. You have me dying. Humans with Jawas. I mean, we got an all-woman set. Basically, it's all females.
Except for
Baylan.
Wow. Does that make me sexist that my favorite character was the only guy?
Or it can make you homosexual. You know, because you only
fuck
like the guy. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we do have a female eccentric, a female, you know, cast, mainly female cast. So, I mean, ain't no telling what Disney will do. We don't know. J Dog is right. We had Pelamoto getting it on with Jawas. Or Disney just going all the way out. But I don't know. I'm excited to see what's to come. I really am. You know, like I said, overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was done pretty well. I think there's some improvements definitely, but we have to see. You know, Dave, if you go back and you watch Rebels, the first couple episodes of every season is kind of like and then it just gets better as time goes. So hopefully Dave keeps up that type of writing style and wrote these to be, which, you know, fuck, I don't know which would be harder. Would anime be harder or live action be harder to fucking make? I think live action, because you're dealing with fucking like people and you got to get them to fucking act a certain way and do a certain thing. On animation, you just make the animation do whatever you wanted it to do. So and I'm excited to see Thrawn. I think Thrawn is going to bring another aspect to the series itself when Thrawn comes out. You know, when they finally, I just hope they don't fucking wait till the very end to bring in Thrawn, and I fucking certainly hope that they don't fucking bring in a bunch of other characters like Mando and Luke and fucking all these other people. And like, I'm so tired of that shit. Like, I'm so tired of them fucking cross fucking playing every fucking we don't need every fucking character from every other TV series in every series. I don't want that to happen. I hope that they just leave it with the characters that we have. Now, if they bring in Zeb, I can understand that. Zeb is part of Rebels. So, you know, but there was no Luke Skywalker in fucking Rebels, and wasn't no Mandalorian in fucking Rebels, and I don't like, I love Mando, I love Luke, but I don't want to see him in this series. I would much rather just them let it be its own series. Because every other series they brought in somebody else that wasn't part, or some new fucking character that we've never fucking heard from or seen of, and then start fucking basing the whole fucking thing around it. We already got Morgan Elsbeth. We already got Baylan Skoll and Hati, or however you say her damn name. We already got these new characters. We don't need Luke and Mando and fucking Boba Fett and everybody else in the series. I hope they don't do that.
We know he likes fan servicing, but come on, that'd be a little much.
Hey, shit, fuck, man. Well, it's not. John is more into fan servicing than Dave is.
That's true.
So
that is.
I don't know if,
John thing.
which, I mean, fuck the damn. The fans is the one who fucking got Rosario Dawson to be fucking. I think the fans is the one that fucking did that, and then she didn't help going on TV shows and fucking saying, yeah, I might be in Star Wars. They're fucking fans. Everybody vote for me. And then everybody just kept voting for her. Maybe Rex. I wouldn't mind seeing Rex. Now, if they bring Rex or Cody in, I won't be mad. But, like, fuck, I don't want to see nobody. And, well, they can't bring, they can't bring Obi-Wan in. He's dead. You know what I'm saying? But Luke and Mando and fucking all the characters from the Mando season or Mandalorian and fucking, which I wouldn't mind seeing Bo-Katan, because Bo-Katan could be in here, because her and Ahsoka is pretty good friends. So you could definitely, we could definitely see a Wolf. I wouldn't mind seeing a Wolf. I wouldn't mind seeing any of the, like, the fucking, the clones that Ahsoka was close to popping up in here. I wouldn't mind seeing that. This would be a good place to bring Rex in too, because Ahsoka and Rex are fucking like super tight. So I definitely could see them bringing Rex in. But I don't know. Tamara Morrison been fucking like this dude. Like they basically Disney's not even answering his phone calls anymore. So he's kind of pissed off. He done talked a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
They get yeah, shit. But there's some people that I wouldn't mind seeing. But I just don't want to see Mando or fucking Boba Fett or, fucking Luke. Like fucking Boba Fett had Luke in it. Mando had Luke in it. I don't want to see Luke.
As long as Grogu doesn't show up, we good. Yeah.
I wouldn't even mind seeing Grogu in it. I'd rather see Grogu over Mando, Luke, or fucking Boba Fett. You know what I'm saying? Like, Grogu would be kind of...
that's what... Bro, that's what they're going for. They're gonna go for something where they all like Mando, Ahsoka. It's coming into one show. It's gonna be in fucking Infinity
Well, that's what Dave's movie is supposed to be about. It's supposed to take all the shows and bring them into one, and then leading into how the First Order takes over. So basically, the fall of the New Republic. So that's coming to pass, but I don't think they need to do it in this show.
You should have Kylo Ren kill Ahsoka.
But you could have Han, Chewie, Leia, Lando. All of them could be in there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, like, yeah, they could CGI Leia. Fuck, they could just get a different actor and just fucking make her a whole different person. There's somebody out there that looks like her. At least enough like her that they can make it look real if they wanted to. Which I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? We already know that Mon Mothma's in the show. We know at some point she's in the show, even if it's hologram based, she's still in the show. We know some other characters from Andor and different stuff is going to be in the show just because of the trailers. But I'm kind of... That would be cool, though. That would be fucking cool as shit. Big Fury just brought up the Vong, the Yuzhong Vong. They might be in the galaxy that Thrawn is in. That would be dope. But I'm pretty sure that fucking Ezra and fucking Thrawn would be dead. Because you can't use the Force against them, so Ezra's just fucked. And Thrawn, yeah, you're good, but you're not as good as the Yuzhong Vong. Them some bad motherfuckers. So they'd both be dead. But it would be a good fucking way to bring the Yuzhong Vong into canon. But I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that they're going to... I think they're never going to bring the Yuzhong Vong because it would be too easy for them to do that and make something good. And then I don't ever think that fucking Mara Jade is going to be brought into Star Wars. I think that's in like the contract. Because Dave's made comments about Mara Jade. And Mara Jade still is not going to be brought into they're not. I think it's in the contract. I think George Lucas put it in the contract with Disney. You can make anything you want, but you are not allowed to bring Mara Jade into Star Wars. And I just don't. The Yuzhong Vong, like that would have to be. It doesn't fit with Disney's timeline. That's the only problem. You know, because of what they did with the sequel trilogy, you know, they got to kind of follow that. That's why Rey's movie's coming out. You know, Daisy Ridley's new fucking movie is coming out because they got to follow the timeline that they created now. And like the Yuuzhan Vong could have came if they wouldn't have done it. If they would have done a trilogy with the Yuuzhan Vong in it, and fucking Luke and, you know, Han and Leia had 3 kids, and Luke had fucking Ben, and Mara Jade was in it, and they could have done it. But, you know, they went a different route, and we had to suffer the consequences. So a lot of the things that could have happened afterwards, unless they go into a multiverse type shit, which is, I mean, it's fucking Disney. They might do it, but I hope not. I just think that'll ruin everything if they did. I think that they if I was Disney, I mean, you know, and I'm not, I wouldn't say that I was wrong. And I don't see Disney doing it either. I wouldn't sit back and say, okay, I was wrong with the sequel trilogy. I would just try to fucking figure it out. If I was Disney, what I would really fucking do is stop trying to fucking fan service and just fucking make good shit.
Yeah, I would get better writers.
Well, I don't think it's so much the writing. I think there's been some very good written shit, and I think Disney changed it because
they're stupid.
Because they're just Disney. That's what they do. I don't think Disney wants anything that's not Disney. It's not the Disney brand name,
and
to be as good. As
because that's what Disney does. Disney takes good shit, waters it down, makes it dumb and simple, and re-releases it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you think about it. Like, all the shit that Disney comes out with, like the Disney shit, is fucking great. Mulan was fucking great.
Sell the HBO.
You know what I'm saying? Fucking, like, all their cartoons is fucking great. Even though they can do the same fucking plot 1,000 times, and it's still fucking good. But then it comes to Star Wars and Marvel and fucking all the other shit that they own, and it's just...
Bro.
It's mediocre shit. It seems like they intentionally don't make it as good as their shit. Like they put their bad writers on that shit.
We should start a petition for Star Wars to sell, like, at least like filming rights to HBO.
They ain't gonna do it. Disney's not gonna fuck around. Disney will own HBO here pretty soon. Let's see. Fig Fury says, true, I feel like a Nerf version of them would be used, and I agree. I don't see it happening. Another theory, I heard that Baylan and Shin could become Knights of Ren to tie into the sequel trilogy, so many options of where it could go for sure. I don't know. She might be able to, but Baylan, he'd have to lose a lot of weight. Because he's kind of big. None of the Knights of Ren were that big, not at least within the movies. It's a very evil mouse empire eyes. If it ain't Mickey Mouse, we will make it so. LOL. I'll sign. Yeah, I mean, I know that. I mean, and Baylan is too old. Which, it just depends. You know, Force fucking Jedis live a long time. Fucking look at Yoda. I don't know. I mean, I understand it's his species, but there's a lot of fucking Jedis that were pretty fucking old. Force healing goes a long way that they didn't tell Anakin about before he fucking went to the dark side. Why didn't you tell me about force healing? But yeah, there's a lot of ways that Disney could go, but I just don't think that they're going to put the effort in. It's just like I said. I mean, at the beginning of the show, I said that Ahsoka, Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi. The shows weren't even so much based on them characters. But that's the names that they're using to fucking promote the show because they know people are going to come watch. It's almost like clickbait. You know what I'm saying? They're clickbaiting us with the names, and the show might not necessarily be about it. Fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi was about Reva. You know what I'm saying? But they used Obi-Wan Kenobi and put Obi-Wan Kenobi in there enough to get people to come watch it. But if you really watch the show, and they do the same. They did the same thing with fucking the last two, the Crystal Skulls and this last one, Dial of Destiny, with Indiana Jones. It was not really based on Indiana Jones. It was based on the girl in Dials of Destiny, and it was based on the kid in the Crystal Skulls. So if they're using these these brands in order to bring in viewers, and they're trying to recreate and create their own characters that they can push off on. But the problem is, like, they thought Reva would make a bigger thing. I mean, there was even talks about a fucking Reva show. You know, basically going back and telling us about what happened with Reva and how she became an Inquisitor and all that stuff. But the fans just was like, fuck this, you know, and then there was some very hateful fans that said some very hateful shit about the actress that I think leads, but they don't know until they try. And I think that's what they're doing. They're just fucking throwing eggs at the wall and see what sticks. You know, they're seeing what fans are liking. And that's why we see what gets a second season. Andor's getting a second season. Why? Because it did so well in the thing. Mando did so well. It got second and third season. We don't hear nothing really. I mean, we hear a bunch of rumors about Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi, but we see no type of anything that has anything to do with production or writing about it, which all the writers are on strike right now, most of the actors. But, you know, we just don't see those things happen because they didn't do well. So they're just basically throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. And then, you know, that's what gets season 2 and season 3. And, you know, that's what gets furthers the Disney Lucasfilms brand is what comes out. You see, they haven't really done anything with movies because look at the movies. Other than Rogue One, none of their movies did well. You know, they might have made them some money, but they didn't get a lot of, the fans didn't, you know, provide that feedback that they wanted to get. And I don't think Disney really cares. They know they're going to make money off of everything that they put out. They're going to make money off of it. Darth Akari is going to bed. Good night, sir. May the force be with you. But, I just don't see things progressing too much more into what we would like to see. I mean, I know most of us would love to see a Revan, a Darth Bane trilogy. I think they're going to go with the new stuff that they're coming out with. I mean, they are going back to Dawn of the Jedi, but from my understanding of everything I've been reading about Dawn of the Jedi, it's going back beyond the fact of the book. You know, Dawn of the Jedi. It's going before that. It's going to like when their people are first recognizing the Force. Like in Dawn of the Jedi, these people are they already know how to use the Force. They're just more like gray Jedis. They're balanced. And they're talking about going back to a point where these people are just finding the Force. It's the first time that so I'm guessing it's going to be about a character that can do something, and everybody's looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, you're like a wizard or, you know, some type of, you know, freaking we need to burn the witch type movie. Because this guy can do something or this girl can do something that can't nobody else do. And the other two movies, Rey is after the sequel trilogy, the whatever movie the Rey movie is going to be about, and then the other movie is basically they're just combining all this together to lead up to the First Order. So I see, which at some point they got to bring Leia and Han back in because they have to introduce Ben. That means they're going to have to bring back Luke.
That's why I don't think it's like doable doing that. Like, because, dude, you know Harrison Ford is not coming back. Leia obviously is not coming back. Like, it's, I don't know. I just don't
they might skip the part of him being that young. They might go right into the point of, you know, Ahsoka and I'm not Ahsoka, but you know, him being at the new Jedi Temple with Luke.
Yeah, I think that's probably where they'd go to.
That's probably where they started out.
They'd probably skip it, yeah. Because
then us a little bit about more. We already know
Snoke. We already know they don't have to recast Luke, and then they can cast somebody else to play younger Kylo. You know what I mean? Or even have Adam Driver come back. Like, he's not that old. They can probably make him look younger. Yeah, exactly.
You know. But at some point, they got to bring in that to lead to the First Order.
If they are going to do it. But I'd rather have them not. Just fucking leave the First Order alone. I don't want to see it.
Honestly, like, if you really want to know what I want to see, I would love for them. Like, I want to see Rev and I want to see Darth Bane. But if you're not going to do that, take us into the High Republic.
Yeah.
Because there's stories in the High Republic, listening to these books and looking at the comics, because I actually been started reading the High Republic comics. Dude, there's some good fucking stories that they got in here. And these are canon stories. Because they're written by writers for Lucasfilm. This is Disney's fucking distribution for under Lucasfilm. So they can use these stories, and they got some good fucking stories. They got some very fucking compelling antagonists, you know, with the fucking, with this whole fucking, I don't want to say it but they got like some living fucking plant motherfuckers that be eating motherfuckers and all kind of shit. That shit is good stories. They could make movies off of this or TV shows off of this, and it would it would do good.
Shit is weird, but
they're a fucking I can't remember the name of the motherfuckers, but it's a fucking plant, and they're alive, and the motherfuckers move and shit like people, but they're plant. They're from like the distant galaxy, and they're fucking like. You can't use the Force against them, and they fucking grow, and they fuck you up, and dude, it's fucking good. It's like listening to the books. They could take these stories and they could make them into a TV series, and then you already got the scripts. You have the books. You don't even have to change shit. Just fucking make the shit. And the Temptress, or not Temptress, but fucking what the hell is that fucking book is amazing. It is fucking so good. I don't like they could just go in that general direction. I don't know why they didn't do it, and it's already canon. It came out as canon. Disney produced it as canon writing. It's under the Lucasfilm banner, so it's like, dude, the comics, all of it. Chris says, I decided earlier this week to try writing down some thoughts I have for an original Star Wars story, and no maps are allowed. But yeah, I mean, they have some really good stuff that they could do. It just, I don't know why they keep trying to fucking, and I know what it is, because a lot of young viewers, they really like the sequel trilogy. The sequel trilogy got way better reviews from the newer viewer than the prequel trilogy did from the existing viewer. The original trilogy, people didn't like the prequels. There was a lot of bad press about the prequels. George was like, fuck y'all and all that shit. That's some bullshit. I thought the prequels were fucking great. But when it came to the sequel trilogy, it got way more better reviews than it did negative reviews. And that's why Disney keeps pushing for it, because they're like, okay, we know what you guys want. We'll give you some more Kylo Ren. We'll give you some more fucking Rey. We'll give you Reylo and all that bullshit that you see all over Instagram. And, you know what I'm saying? Kylo Ren and Rey being in love. Look, they made them fall in love at the end all because of the damn hashtag Reylo. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason they did it. Because of a billion fucking people use that damn hashtag. So, you know what I'm saying? But if, as fans, if we want to see, we need to start pushing the issues for some certain things. You get enough people all fucking saying the same thing, Disney will do it. Now, are they going to do it good? That's my problem. Like, I would love to see Revan. I would love to see that movie, but I do not want to see it if Disney makes it.
I don't trust Disney to make Revan at this point. I'm honestly at the point where I don't want to see Revan because I'm scared Disney will fuck it up.
And, you know, the same thing with the Darth Bane trilogy or Malgus, you know, like the Seed. I don't want to see these characters be.
Yeah, Disney needs to sell Star Wars before we see those characters, because those characters, Disney's not capable of being dark enough for those characters. I can't do it.
I don't want to see the High Republic, the Old Republic stuff done by Disney. They scare me because I don't think that they're going to do a good job. And if they came out with a Revan movie and ruined it, it would just piss me off, a lot. Because they've ruined two of my favorite characters already. You know what I'm saying? They ruined Obi-Wan and they ruined Boba Fett. They just ruined these characters. They were just some of my favorite characters of all times, and they ruined them. I'm just too scared that. Only reason I didn't feel like they're going to ruin Ahsoka is because that's Dave's character, and he wrote everything. Now, I don't know why he wrote the map, and I don't know why he said what he said, but, you know, I mean.
Because he's not this god you think he is.
I know he's the guy that I think. I listen to his fucking interviews. I know who he is. But
Maybe
it also all boils down to what Disney allows you to do. Because they're under restrictions. They belong to Disney. You know what I'm saying? You have to write it down. You have to take it to Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy got okayed. Then it got to go upstairs. And then they got okayed. And then Disney, Bob Iger, or who else knows who got to okay it. And then they say, no, we don't like this part. And then you got to rewrite it. That's the thing that sucks about working for a production. Whenever you're underneath a banner, you're working for them, and they have the last say so. That's what made George's movie so great, because he was the banner. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to rely on fucking the production companies and the producers and all these other people. He got to write and do what he wanted to do, and that's what made it great. That's why he's probably one of the best of all time, because he wasn't under any type of restrictions. And just like when they asked him to come back and write for Disney, he told them no, because they weren't going to let him write what he wanted to write. They would have tried to change it. They would have tried to say something different. And he was like, I'm not going to do that. If you want me to do it, we're going to do it my way, or have at it. And they had at it. And it was, their track record ain't the good. They ain't even at 50-50. You know, I mean, and it's bad when you got to sit back and say some of the best content that they came out with was animated. Because, you know what I'm saying, The Bad Batch was good. But when it comes down to their all we have is Rogue One, we have Andor, we have the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian.
That's pretty much
Solo
it.
was all right. I mean, it wasn't the greatest. I thought they could have done
Everything else has been all right or bad.
better. Yeah. So
we'll see.
We'll have to see. Hopefully this leads us to where we want it to lead us to. But I mean, just like everything, only time will tell. And with that being said, we will see you guys Saturday. Stay outrageous, and may the Force be with you.
Thank you for tuning in to LSR. If you've enjoyed the show, consider subscribing so you can be notified when new episodes are released. If you would like to be a guest on the show or just want to give us some feedback, feel free to email us. You can also reach out to us on all major social media platforms. LightSaber Radio is produced by Pickfilm Media and is a Swaycast original, starring Garrison Turcotte, CJ Elliott, and Kyle McDaniel. And don't forget to join us next time for more adventures in a galaxy far, far away.